Let us not forget everything that happens. It's by the will of Allah. Holy will. It's time to unite and stand, and we will be the best amongst men. It's not time to be extreme or do the unthinkable, but to stand together as one. Tune into Sunnahfollowers, streaming every day, various platforms. Trust me, you'll find a way. Sunnahfollowers. Open your eyes and look around. Open your eyes. Do you see the very things that you read about coming true? Don't you realize the moments are near? Correcting yourself in your affairs. He has made it crystal clear. These are the signs of the time. Assalamu alaikum. Sunnahfollowers, new class, stay tuned. Signs of the times.
Have the lines become blurred? Is it okay to mix the principles of Islam with those of the Mormons? Join Sunnahfollowers May 23rd at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as Dr. Daniel McBride addresses Muslims living the principle. Journey, hold close to him and follow what he said.
You will make it through. The fitra is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah by your side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. You will make it through. The fitra is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through.
Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam ala, wa rasulallah. I want to welcome everybody to our first class for today, which is our Aqidah class. And this is the class whereas we are discussing the meaning of that testimony of faith that we declare every time we make our prayers, which is La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. And who can tell me, what does the testimony of faith mean? When we declare La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, what are we basically saying? Can anyone answer that question for us? Yeah, what are we basically saying when we say La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah? And what we say is what we are all about as Muslims. Can anyone tell us what is the meaning of it? Anyone?
I bear witness there's no God worthy of worship except Allah. So my worship and my dedication and I strive to pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and following the examples of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
That's it.
And also that also believing that the unseen of the angels and the Day of Judgment and the Qadr of Allah and the books that Allah has revealed down upon us.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's it?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good answer. Okay, is it correct? Not completely, but that's part of it. Who else would like to try? You know, when we declared, like, say for example, you guys were at a coffee shop. You're sitting there like I was the other day, minding your business, waiting on your coffee. And somebody approaches you. It's a woman, of course. And she says, "Oh, you look so beautiful today. I just love that color." "Oh, thank you." Mm-hmm. "Oh my, do you make your own clothing?" "Oh no, I buy them." "Oh my God, what country are you from?" "Oh, well, I'm born in USA, Bruce Springsteen." "Oh, okay, well, can you just tell me, what do you believe?" How would you respond? She said, if the person, "Can you tell me, I know you're Muslim, you know, what do you, can you, I don't want to get personal. I don't want to be too inquisitive, but what do you all believe in?" How would you respond?
I would say we believe in one God. And as a Muslim, we submit. Part of being a Muslim is submitting to one God. When I submit, this meaning I do what He has commanded me to do, and then we believe as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the final prophet, and we use him as an example how to navigate through the life of this world.
Okay, that's her answer. Anyone else would like to try? What would anyone else say? Nice lady, very nice lady that this was that approached me, you know. Anyone else would like to try? Who else is in that Zoom room? Come on, y'all, get on that microphone. Hello? Don't make my anxiety go up.
I would say we believe in Allah, that He's one and He's the only one worthy of worship. We believe that the Prophet Muhammad SAW is His final messenger, and we believe everything He's told us about the religion, His laws, His regulations. We believe in His angels, all His prophets, and we love them equally. And we believe in the Day of Judgment. We believe in the unseen, paradise and hell, and the jinns, and we believe in His predestination.
It's pretty good. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good. And these are the answers that Brother Merard and Sister Laila gave. These are the typical answers that we would get from most Muslims. You know, we talked about yesterday in my series of enjoining good and forbidding evil. It's not our job to go around passing out flyers and knocking on people's doors and putting up tables in the marketplace, passing out flyers. That's imitating the kafir. It's not our job to convey the message to everyone. It's only our job to convey it to those who come seeking it. So when a person comes seeking it, and it's a woman, I'm going to emphasize this, because if a man comes up to you, sisters, asking you anything about Islam, you don't answer him at all. Do you sisters understand?
Yes.
We don't do that. You're putting yourself in a compromised position. That happened to me 5 years ago. Y'all remember here at Zoom, because I was terrorized. Some man approached me in the coffee shop, Starbucks, and told me I got 5 seconds. I got 5 seconds to explain why I am what I am. I thought the man was going to kill me. So I assumed the position. But before I could do anything, Allah sent 2 men to my rescue. Okay? You don't owe an explanation to no man. We don't talk to men. Do you sisters understand? So if any man approach you about your religion or anything else, you back away. You first of all get on guard and you back away. You don't talk to men. You don't owe no man no explanation, or no woman either. But we don't behave that way. Remember, when we go public as Muslim women, we carry ourselves with dignity, humility, and intimidation. To back off. It was a Appalachian man. That Appalachian man that approached me that time 5 years ago, he caught me off guard. That was the one time that I was off guard because I was on my break. I was at work. I took a break when I shouldn't have took the break. One of my coworkers is here and she's typing. She remembers, oh yeah, I took a break when I shouldn't have been. See, when you do something bad, I left the job and I said, let me go get me a Starbucks because the Starbucks is right down the street. So I was caught off guard and he caught me off guard, approaching me and said 5 seconds. And I said, oh God, I shouldn't have took the break. That's the first thing went through my mind. I shouldn't have took my break because I didn't go through it the right way. I said, this man getting ready to bust a cap in me. But alhamdulillah, 2 men from my job happened to come in and they said, hey, Sister Laila, what's up? What you doing on break? And the hillbilly backed away because they were 2 big black dudes. Oh yeah, 2 big black dudes from my job. Oh yeah. But anyway, so you don't owe an explanation to no man. If a man approach you, sisters, asking y'all anything, no answer. You walk away and you put that intimidation on. Okay? But now you sitting there and a nice little lady comes and approach you. Most people would give the answer that these 2 people gave. But that's not the correct answer either. I mean, it's partly correct, but the answer, they left out some important stuff in their answer. So when the lady approached me, I'll tell y'all how I responded.
Can I add to what they said?
Not add to what they say.
Yeah,
you got an answer?
Yeah, I have an answer.
Okay, what would you say if a woman approached you and asked you after beginning beautiful conversation with you, she said, can you just tell me a little bit about your religion, what you believe in? What would you say?
I would say when we say that we believe in Allah alone and we associate no other with him. I also say that I also believe Muhammad is the last and the seal.
Wait a minute, just pretend like you answering her because you're adding on to them. I don't want you to add on that because their answers were not complete. Give me what you would say. The woman asked you, Norto, can you tell me what you guys believe?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Well, say it right.
I'm saying.
Start over.
I already wrote down my answer.
Start over.
Can I just say it and then you can say what you have to say, Musayla?
Start over.
Okay. I would say that.
No coffee.
I would say that I believe in Allah alone and associate no partners with him. I would also say I also believe Muhammad is the last and the seal of all prophets. I also have allegiance to the believers, no matter where they are, whoever they are. And I also respect the rights that are given to them by Allah, such as when we meet them, we give them the greetings. When they invite us somewhere, we accept their invitation and such. And also, I also believe in Allah's original books and then his prophets that he sent down, his angels, the last day, and his qadr, and also the questioning of the grave, his heaven and hell, And I also show this by living it every day, starting with thanking him for waking me up to give me another chance. That's what I would say.
Okay, what's the problem with her answer? Can anybody tell me? From her answer, what do y'all see any problems with her answer? And if so, what's wrong with her answer? Anybody? Is there anything? What's wrong with her answer? Her answer is not acceptable. I'm going to be honest. Her answer is worse than Brother Merard's answer. Her answer is worse than Sister Layla's answer. Can anybody tell me why? I know Amina's not here. She would be able to tell me. Faiza would be able to tell me. Anybody else? I don't know who's in the Zoom because I don't have it open to see. Whoever's in there, y'all need to get on the mic. Can anybody tell me what's wrong with Norto's answer? Why would I say her answer is worse than theirs? Common sense.
Too much detail.
Not so much that, but you on the right path. What's wrong with her answer?
I guess it's a lot of terminology, like the person who's not in this land, they don't understand.
Exactly. Good job, Geechee. She gave an answer that you would give to a Muslim.
Yeah.
That's not how you answer non-Muslims. That's what you tell a Muslim that doesn't practice the religion. So that woman, if I was a non-Muslim asking, I would be confused. I'd be like, what? I don't understand anything you said. Oh my God, is this some man-made cult? She made it sound like a cult.
Can I say what I usually say, Sister Layla, when non-Muslim ask me?
Go ahead.
I say to them, well, how are you doing today? Yes, I'm Muslim, and I'm born in submission to the will of the Creator. There's one Creator, and we believe in the books that the Creator sent. We believe in His prophets. We believe in the resurrection. We believe in the Day of Judgment. We believe in, what else I want to say? We believe in all the prophets that He sent, and they all brought the same message, and that is to worship one God, or one God and one God alone. So I have allegiance to that one God, the one Creator, and we call His name is Allah. That's what we call our God, Allah. That's what I'm normally saying, and I just stopped it.
Okay, that's good. Her answer is just like Brother Merard and Layla. Yeah, the non-Muslim can accept that. That's much better than Norto. Norto's answer is for a Muslim that doesn't practice Islam, but for a kafir.
I'd like to give it a try, Sister Layla.
Yes, let me hear what Brother Abdullah Kirk would say. Go ahead.
Okay, I was able to get on the mic, stepped away from the desk. I would basically say, I would say, as a Muslim, I believe in the core principles of Islam, which is Islam is a monotheistic faith, which means that we believe in the oneness of God, and that there is no deity worthy of worship except Him. Then I'll state that we believe in the prophethood of Muhammad as the final messenger of Allah, or God. I would say God to that individual, along with the previous prophets like Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses, and Jesus, peace be upon them. And that will make them, they'll probably open their ear a little more, like, whoa, man, you believe in Him? And then I would say our holy book is the Quran, which we believe to be the literal word of God. And it serves as like a guide for all aspects of our life. And we also follow the 5 pillars of Islam, which would be the declaration of our faith, our prayers. We do 5 times a day, and we give in charity, we fast during Ramadan, and then we make our pilgrimage to Mecca if we financially or physically able to. So that's basically what I was saying.
That's good. All of these answers, except for Norto's, all of your answers are great. And especially his, he got the attention. He's got the attention. So now what the next thing that the non-Muslim, if they're sincere about wanting to know, they're going to ask you what this woman asked me yesterday. They're going to look at you and say, wow. And by the way, for the UN family, good job. For the UN family that's on YouTube, good job. Your answer is great too. Their next comment to you will be, wow, that's just like what I believe. You believe just about really the same thing I do. We really believe the same thing. So what really is the difference? What's the difference in what you believe and what I believe? How would you all respond to that?
I myself personally, I say this because I know if I'm talking to someone and they're letting me know that they're Christian.
I don't need to hear all that. Just get to what you would say.
Okay. I'm just going to pretend like they told me who they are. I would say to them, well, I believe in one creator, and I believe as Christ Jesus believed. He told us.
That's wrong. That's not the answer I'm looking for. That's not it. Way off. Sister Layla, wait a minute. Let me get back to Layla. Layla, your answer was good. Okay. Now, Layla, how would you respond? So if you gave your answer without the stuttering and stuff, I know you was nervous. And they say, wow, there's really not much difference in what we believe. We really believe the same thing. So what's the difference? What would you say, Layla?
We worship Allah solely. We worship
That's
Allah
wrong.
alone.
That's not the answer. That's not the answer. Because they'll say that they worship God too. That Jesus really ain't God. He's just a whatever. No, that's wrong.
Does not have partners.
Hope. That ain't it either.
He doesn't have partners and
that
does
ain't
not
it
share.
either.
He doesn't have children.
That's not it either. Now you got a debate going. That's the wrong response. And this is why we see on YouTube these brothers in the United Kingdom with their dawah boots. And we got a few brothers here in America with their dawah boots arguing because they do the same thing. They say the same thing. When the non-Muslim says, wow, we're the same. What's the difference? They start saying the same thing y'all said, and it turns into a debate because the Christians will tell you the same thing that King Abbasis said. King Nagus of Abyssinia, I'm sorry. King Nagus, when the prophet sent the companions to Abyssinia, and remember, the Quraysh came after them. The Quraysh threw that in his face. Oh, they say that y'all worship, that y'all don't believe in God because you worship Jesus. What did he say? Well, you know, there's a little bit more. We do believe in God. Jesus is not really God. They got around that. That's the argument. So that answer is wrong. Now let's go back to Merard. Merard, what would you say? You gave your beautiful answer, and they say, well, what's different? How do we differ? What would you say? Brother Merard. Brother Abdullah, what would you say?
Well, I would let them know there are plenty of differences between what we believe, but basically they believe in the divinity of Christ.
Nah, that's the debate. That's how y'all blow it. Hold on for a second. And this is what I want to emphasize. That's the wrong answer. That is what leads to debate. That's why y'all got those brothers in the UK what they're making all them YouTube. They getting paid because all they do is argue with Christians. We got brothers in America that put up those boots, which they shouldn't have because that's imitating the kafir. We don't do that. We only enjoin the good and forbid the evil to those who come seeking it. Hello, you don't go seeking them out. There is not a house in the world that hasn't already heard of Islam. Turn on the TV, okay? But they end up debating because that's the response that the non-Muslim give. I don't care if it's a Christian of what sect, a Jew of what sect. They all will say, wow, the same thing this woman said to me. Wow, what's different? What's different?
Although to them they may seem this similarities, we don't see any similarities. We are
no, that ain't what. No. But I need to know why. How would y'all answer them? How do we differ? I haven't heard a Muslim get it right yet. When Allah works in mysterious ways. When I went to that coffee shop yesterday going through my anxiety attack, Allah wanted me to go through that. I don't leave the house. I don't usually go inside. I go through the drive-through. But I went inside to exercise, to walk, to release the stress. And Allah wanted me to do that so I could come back here with this class today. What the correct answer is, and your answer is wrong too, Sakina. I'm going to tell y'all how to respond. After you give the answers y'all gave, and y'all answers were all good except for Norto. Norto, don't get Muslims and non-Muslims confused. But for the rest of you, your answers were correct. When y'all give those details and those answers, they're going to come back with you and say, oh, wow, we're the same. How do we differ? The correct response should be this. Yes, we are similar. But I'll tell you how we differ. Not only do we believe in all the things that I just explained that we believe in, which are similar to you, but what differs is our allegiance and our disassociation. And when I said that, she said, what do you mean your allegiance? I said, not only do I believe in all those things, but I have allegiance to my Lord. And I show my allegiance to him by obeying him in everything he commanded me to do. And I have allegiance to my prophet. And I show my allegiance to my prophet by obeying him in everything he commanded for me to do. And I also have allegiance to my religion. I told her I understand that my religion is also my way of life. So I am not going to do anything that interferes with the principles of my religion. I will disassociate myself from anything that opposes my beliefs. That's the difference. I told her most people don't disassociate from what opposes their beliefs. She said, my God, you're correct. She said, we smoke, we drink, we fornicate. She stopped me. It made sense to her. I said, yes, but see, I don't smoke. I don't fornicate. I don't drink because my allegiance is to what I believe in that much. My allegiance is to my prophet, I told her, so tough that if anybody says anything bad about him, I told her it bothers me. It bothers me. I said it bothers me to the point when I'll make dua. I'll pray. I'll pray to my Lord to deal with that person. That's how tough my allegiance is to my prophet. I told her, and also how we differ is my allegiance is to everyone who believes the same thing that I believe. I said, I put them first over anyone else that doesn't believe in that. She said, that makes sense. So that's the correct answer. And when you give them that answer, it's no debate. But I have yet to hear the Muslims give that right answer. These scholars they're not scholars. These brothers that y'all listen to on YouTube, who y'all think are sheikhs, they're not sheikhs. They don't give that answer. They sit there and argue. They do just what y'all did. Try to tear down their religion. Try to tear down their beliefs. No. The difference is our allegiance. El Wala Wal Bara. El Wala Wal Bara, what I have been teaching you guys for the past 3 years. This is our difference. Our allegiance and disassociation. The Christians, the Jews don't have allegiance to their Lord like that. They don't have allegiance to their religion like that. They violate it. They don't have allegiance to each other like that. The Christians do, but not the Jews. And they do not disassociate. They do not refuse to partake in anything that contradicts their values. When I broke that down to her, that lady said, wow. She said, wow. Now, this was a nice lady, a very kind, elderly lady, sitting at the table with me, sharing coffee. When I gave her that answer, and I was so depressed, because y'all know I've been dealing with my anxiety. She looked at me and she said, ma'am, no one. She said, I have asked this question to a lot of Muslims. She said, I have asked this question to a lot of Muslims, and no one has told me the difference like you did. And she looked at me and said, may God bless you. And then she got up. She walked away. I stirred my coffee up. You know, the kind I got here, this lavender, because, you know, the honey at the bottom. I stirred it up, took a sip, turned around to tell her, have a good day. She was gone. I don't know where she went. It was the weirdest thing. In just that second, I turned to tell her, have a good, and she was gone. And I said, so Allah wanted me to come out the house today and go inside the store and sit down. Because Allah wanted me to come back here today and talk to y'all about how we go wrong as Muslims today with all this debating, all this arguing, all this imitation of the kafir. We can't answer basic questions about Islam. We can't explain to the people correctly what we believe in. And then when they ask us how we differ, we don't know what to say. We attack them. We attack their belief. We tear down their belief. That's not the way the Prophet taught us. The Prophet taught the companions the way I'm teaching you guys. The difference is Wala Wal Bara, allegiance and disassociation. That's part of the Shahada. That's the second part of the Shahada that most Muslims living in the West do not understand. Most of you Western Muslims are not taught this. Okay? Y'all got to remember Wala Wal Bara. That's why this book, this series is officially part of Sunnah Followers curriculum. And I will continue to teach it over and over and over. Because we got to know the meaning of that Shahada. We got to know how we differ. What is it that makes us the best of all nations? Is our Wala Wal Bara. Wala Wal Bara also includes enjoining good and forbidding evil. Allah says in the Quran, you are the best nation ever put on this earth because of your Wala Wal Bara, because of your enjoining of the good, forbidding of the evil, you know, your allegiance, your disassociation. Y'all can't forget Wala Wal Bara. Y'all understand that? That's the second part of that Shahada. Don't forget it, because it's what separates us. It's what distinguishes us from other people. Y'all understand now? Is that clear?
Yes, it's more detailed, more deeper.
Yeah, so don't tell them we differ in how we worship. They don't want to hear that. You tell them we differ in our allegiance and our disassociation. We not only say we believe in these things, but our allegiance lies to them. And anything that comes between that allegiance, anything that comes between our Islamic morality, our Islamic values, we distance ourselves from it. We're not going to take part in it. That's why we don't celebrate holidays. That's why we don't do Thanksgiving. That's why we don't do Mother's Day. because it contradicts our ideology. It contradicts our belief system. So we disassociate. That's wala wal bara. You American Muslims and European Muslims have to get a grasp of it. Because all you've been...
The simplicity of that answer that you gave just throws... I mean, I'm not just saying this, my mouth dropped. And, you know, because I'm thinking more detail, more research. But the way you gave that will destroy any argument. It leaves open no room for debate.
Exactly.
When you say that, because every person, every individual on this world know that Muslims, believing Muslims, they have their allegiance to their God and prophet. And if they're honest, they know no other religion is like that.
Exactly.
And that, I just got to say, that was a powerful answer.
And that's it.
I definitely remember that.
That's the answer the prophet gave us. But see, this just goes to show, I keep telling y'all, most Muslims today are Mu'tazila. How many people are following the Sunnah? A lot of these famous people y'all look at, they don't even know the basics. They don't know what La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah means. That's why they arguing and fighting and doing the knocking on people's doors, imitating the kafir. They don't know the basics. We got to get back to the Sunnah. The Sunnah has become forgotten. It's become abandoned. The prophet taught us how to answer those questions, but we don't know. We received our knowledge of Islam in the West. It was watered down by men who told you that because you ain't Arab, you're not going to understand it. That was the first thing. Oh yeah, we went through that era in the West, where a lot of men come here and to America and to Europe and all of that. They tell you, oh, because you don't speak Arabic, you're never going to get but maybe 30% of your understanding of Islam. And that's a lie. Allah never said that. That's a lie. And then you get these brothers, that the ones that do know the truth, but they can't communicate it to you because their English is bad. They don't know how to express the religion to you correctly because they didn't learn English. So the Western hemisphere of the Muslim world today is messed up. All y'all know is La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. It means that we believe in one God and we worship him and Muhammad is his prophet. That's it. Because that's all y'all were taught. Well, now I'm here to teach you the truth. So y'all need to remember it. Y'all need to implement it. Stop arguing. Stop debating. Stop putting down people's religion. First of all, take those dawah boots and burn them because you imitating the kafir anyway. You putting yourself in a situation that's not good anyway. The companions didn't even do that. They didn't sit around in the marketplace running up in people's face trying to sell Islam to them or throw Islam on them. We only give it to those who come seeking it because Allah makes Muslims. Again, everything goes back to the qadr of Allah. The Mu'tazilai do not believe in the qadr of Allah. They don't understand that Allah makes Muslims, not you, not me. You can't make nobody convert to Islam. Allah controls the heart of man. And that's why I keep telling y'all that a lot of these people, these Muslims in the world today are Mu'tazila. They have a problem with the decree. They're the ones with the dawah boots. They're the ones knocking on your door like the Jehovah Witness. They're the ones on national TV crying and screaming about what's going on in Gaza. They're the ones protesting with flags all around their bodies, not understanding that Allah is in charge. Mu'tazila. Okay? All right. And so today we're going to continue with this. I just wanted to start it off because when that happened yesterday, because y'all know I was in a bad place. I was in a bad place yesterday. I'm trying to deal with my anxiety. You know, my emotions is everywhere right now. I'm trying to balance it out. You know, Allah wanted me to go to that shop and do that. And then after that happened, I said, I'll just start the class off today with this. And it goes hand in hand with what we're going to be speaking about in this new chapter of the book, Diluting Wala Wal Bara. Okay, and let me put the PowerPoint up on the screen. Let me see that. Oh, okay, you're here saying this. Yeah. Yeah, he said the same thing Brother Abdullah said. He said, MashaAllah, Sister Layla, I will remember that answer. MashaAllah, you broke that down so well. Yeah, and it's not made up by me. The Prophet Muhammad taught us this. This is the hadith. This is where we differ. But Muslims don't know the hadiths today. Now do y'all see the meaning? You know, the last hour, the signs are here. The hadiths are forgotten. We're too busy. We know the 40 hadiths of Imam Nawawi. We know the Riyadh Salihin. Those are the only hadiths that seem like, that's why I don't teach them books here. Because those are the only hadiths. The only hadiths that Muslims know about is Riyadh Salihin and the 40 hadiths of Imam Nawawi. And those are not even sources of hadiths. That's it. We learn those books, those two books, and then we focus on Arabic and singing the Quran, and that's it. No, that's not Islam. That's not Islam. And that's why our understanding of Islam is twisted. Don't get it twisted. Okay? All right. So let me put the PowerPoint up for today's lecture. By the way, Brother Ahmad, make shorts out of that if you can. You know, my little intros are pretty good, aren't they? Make sure y'all, for the sister brother Ahmad and sister Maisha, make sure y'all make use of my intros, because my intros to the classes are really good. Okay. All right. Okay, let me put the PowerPoint up. Y'all can go look at this. And that's also why I put on my logos, teaching Islam in accordance to the understanding of the companions, because we have deviated away from that understanding today as Muslims. As Muslims, we're too busy, you know, looking at other people's interpretation of Islam. We're learning watered down versions of Islam. Our understanding of Islam should be the same understanding those companions had, not anyone else. So that's why I put that back on my logos. Teaching Islam in its truthfulness with the understanding of those companions. So I'm giving you the way the companions would have answered how we differ. That's the answer they would have given. Okay? So let's share now the PowerPoint. I got it up there for them, and let's put it here for everyone else. We spoke about how Islam never becomes outdated. Islam never becomes old. Allah perfected this religion for us, made it a beautiful way of life that will transcend all time. Okay? And Allah reveals his knowledge of things to us in increments. Just as the Quran was revealed in increments, it wasn't sent down in one day. Allah reveals technology to us in increments. He already wrote in his book over 50,000 years before he even created the earth that the internet would exist and that we would be able to use the internet to reach out to other Muslims around the world and establish brotherhood with them. He already wrote in his book over 50,000 years before he created the earth that every house on the planet, because of the internet, will hear about Islam. There will be not one home on this earth that hasn't heard of Islam. And that is true today because of this internet. There is no place on this planet, even Antarctica. I got 4 sisters here who are learning right now on YouTube who are in Antarctica. So there is no place on this planet that has not heard of Islam. So Allah is the one in charge. This is his will, his decree. So the internet, we have the world at our fingertips. We can learn the religion. We can share the religion. However, there are challenges that come with this too. Remember, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said there's good in everything and there's also bad in everything. The internet is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing too. And we're going to speak about how to confront the challenges or the bad things that we find on the internet. And let's take a look to see what Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid, how he begins this. He tells us in the era of rapid technology, the digital landscape presents both extraordinary opportunities for us as Muslims, and it also presents challenges too. And as a result of the challenges that exist on the internet, and as a result of the good that's there too, we have to reconnect with Wala Wal Bara, the same way I began this class. When people ask you, how do we differ as people who believe in God? How do we differ as people of the book? The Christians are people of the book. The Jews are people of the book. And the Muslims are people of the book. How do we differ? Again, we have to make that reconnection with Wala Wal Bara, because that's where our difference comes from. The principles of allegiance and disassociation, they guide us, not only through our personal relationships in the real world, but also they guide us through the digital expanse as well. The principles of allegiance and disassociation, they encapsulate our Islamic values. They encapsulate our ethics. And this is where we differ with the other peoples of the book. But as Muslims, especially those of you living in the West, the Arabs are aware of Wala Wal Bara. It's their language. They learn that. But the Western world only learns what people want you to learn. But in the Western world, we now have to understand that Wala Wal Bara is our foundation. It's part of that Shahada. And because of it, this is how we can foster digital communities based on loyalty or allegiance to Allah, to the believers and our religion. And also we can distance ourselves and reject anything that's harmful. And on the internet, this is what we have to learn to do. We have to learn to navigate through the internet, take the good from it, and reject the harmful ideologies that's on there. And the sad thing is, many of the harmful ideologies come from the Muslims themselves. Because remember, the Prophet said we would divide up into over 73 sects. And all 73 of those sects will be in hell. The only Muslims that won't be in hell are those who stick to the traditional Islam. Most Muslims today in 2024 are not upon traditional Islam. The simple fact that they don't even know what Wala Wal Bara is shows they're not on the traditional Islam. That's why I tell you guys, many of you have come from Mu'tazila backgrounds because you don't know Wala Wal Bara. Okay? And at the heart of allegiance and disassociation is the essence of faith that encompasses that shahada or that testimony of faith that we declare. And that testimony of faith based on allegiance and disassociation is what causes us to uphold our values and morals as Muslims. Okay? Remember, guys, when we talk about al-wala, this is the part that addresses allegiance. Allegiance to Allah, allegiance to his religion. This stems from having love for Allah, love for his prophets, love for his religion and the believers. The Christians will tell you they love God too. They'll tell you that. They love the prophets of God too. They love the angels. They love each other too. But again, this is where we differ. We don't just say we love Allah. We don't just say we love the believers, but we hold to it in allegiance. Al-wala, it urges us as Muslims to connect with people who think like us. That love for Allah and that allegiance to his religion, it urges us as Muslims to advocate for the Quran, to advocate for the Hadith. Our love for Allah and his messengers, it's what causes us to embody positive Islamic ethics. That love for Allah, for his religion, is also what strengthens our faith. And it'll shield us against the internet's harm. You will know how to turn off the computer. A lot of people today, Muslims today, have a hard time cutting off the computer. You will sit there and listen to people debate and speak back. What causes you to do that? It's because you don't have al-wala. You don't have true allegiance to your religion. Your allegiance to Islam should prevent you from that. You know, I have a hard time as a daya. I cannot listen to just anybody's lecture. That's why I tell y'all, don't send me nobody's lecture. I can't listen to those brothers. I know that those brothers are twisted. First of all, I know these people are twisted. And then if I listen for 5 minutes, I can tell that this brother got an issue, that he's reading from somebody's twisted interpretation. I can't stand that. My allegiance is to Allah. It's to the true Islam, traditional Islam. I don't want to hear that watered down crap. There's only 2 brothers. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. There's only 2 people that I can listen to on this internet. Only 2 speakers that I can actually sit and listen to their lectures, because their lectures are like mine. Their lectures are just like mine, based on Quran and Sunnah, with the understanding of the Prophet. And both of those brothers use examples. They use examples from the companions like I do. Only 2. Those other people, I could care less, because they don't have that wala wal bara. So if we embrace allegiance and love for Allah and his religion, when we're navigating through the internet, you know, this is how we know how to turn it off and who to listen to and who not to. And also, al-bara. What does al-bara mean? This is our disassociation. We disassociate from anything that conflicts with what Allah says. I can't sit there and listen to a man speak about women and tell women that they have to obey their husbands, even if their husbands tell them to lick the pus off them or bow to them. That's garbage. That ain't what Allah said. Allah says we obey our husbands only in what Allah commanded us to obey them in. Allah says he don't even accept any good deeds unless they're done for him. So why are you telling these women they have to please their husbands? Do it to please your husband. Their husband orders them to not use a dishwasher. She supposed to obey him to please him? That's garbage. Allah didn't tell me to obey him in that. I only obeyed my husband in the things Allah commanded me to obey him in. I'm not going to put myself through harm. I'm not going to make life harder for me just to please some twisted man who got a problem. I can't listen to that garbage. You sisters listen to that crap. I can't do it because I know it's wrong. I know it's conflicting with what Allah said. Okay? So by adopting disassociation, this protects us from the allurement of content on the internet that can damage our faith. Okay? And this will cause us to use wise judgment when it comes to listening to speakers and things like that. Okay? We have to also keep in mind as Muslims, guys, that Shaitan, he has more followers and more allies than Allah has. And this is something else that Muslims don't understand. The Prophet ﷺ taught us there will be more people in hell than in paradise. So what does that mean? That means Shaitan has more followers than Allah has. So y'all have to be careful what you listening to. You have to distance yourself from any harmful ideology that opposes what Allah says, that opposes what the Prophet says. Okay? Also, the internet has a lot of good, but as we said earlier, the internet has a lot of bad too. And the internet has brought forth many challenges for us. Challenges that can contradict our beliefs. Challenges that can contradict what Allah says. So how do we handle it? So now what I'm going to do, what Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd did, is he goes into depth looking at some of the adverse consequences of the internet and how we can overcome them. And I like how he did this. For example, he tells us to be careful because many online platforms propagate disbelieving ideologies. Why is it that most Muslims today do not understand the qadr of Allah? Because they listen to people like Dr. Phil. Oh yeah, the Dr. Phil show, Oprah Winfrey show, Wendy Williams. We listen to these non-Muslim platforms that propagate ideologies that go against La ilaha illallah, that go against belief in Allah. We listen to these theologians, these psychologists, these philosophers give us their watered down versions of how man can handle the trials of life. Okay? First of all, there's a hadith that the Prophet ﷺ shared with us. He said, never refer to an unbeliever with a title of respect. When he made that statement, the companion said, what do you mean? He said, never refer to a non-believer as being wise or as being intelligent. Because if he or she were truly wise, if he or she were truly intelligent, they would be Muslim. They would believe La ilaha illallah. How many of you refer to Obama as being wise and intelligent? How many of you refer to Dr. Phil as being wise and intelligent? Sigmund Freud, Einstein, and all these kafirs. What's that dude that they use Muslims are talking about? That Indian man that didn't even believe that he could eat a cow. Gandhi. These people aren't wise. These people were not intelligent. They were ignorant. They were ignorant. So why would you give titles like that to those people? How can you sit there and think that a non-Muslim can tell you how to better yourself? What makes you think that a non-Muslim can advise you on how to raise your children? What makes you think that some non-Muslim, because they have a PhD, can tell you how to overcome a drug problem? They don't even believe in Allah. So again, guys, we have to recognize that the internet is filled with a lot of online platforms that propagate belief systems and ideologies, that go against our belief, and their ideologies can never be of help to us. So how do we change this? Well, it all begins with you learning your Islam correctly. Like I tell you guys, every Muslim should have a teacher. Just like when a man comes into my stream calling me out, I don't argue with him. I simply say, who's your teacher? Okay? You ain't got no teacher. So how I would look like a fool sitting here arguing with some idiot, some self-taught idiot. We have to learn the true knowledge of Islam, and we have to embed it with the understanding that those companions had. Because by learning the true knowledge of Islam, learning the lawful and the unlawful, learning what Wala Wal Bara is, learning the meaning of the Shahada, this is when we can differentiate between what we should listen to and what we shouldn't listen to. This is when we can make that separation. Okay? Also, another way to address the challenges of the internet, when we are confronted with online disbelief, we should employ not only the principles of allegiance and disassociation, but also talk to the true people of knowledge. Go to the scholars. I ain't talking about the famous celebrities. I'm talking about go to the real people of knowledge and ask them how to confront this. Ask them how to deal with this. Ask them how to get a grasp over this. Okay? So we have to go to the proper source, the true people of knowledge. Ask them, how should I handle this? This person on the internet is trying to tell me that Allah does not create evil, that we as Muslims, we create our own evil. So how do I deal with that? You don't post it up in a Facebook group. A Facebook group is nothing but a Facebook group of people. You instead contact the true people of knowledge and ask them, how do I deal with this? This person has me questioning the qadr of Allah. Okay? Also, another way to address the challenges is to create affirmative digital content, which is like what I've done here. When I made this website back in 1986, I wanted the Muslims from all over the world to be able to join and learn Islam in its truthfulness with the understanding of the companions. Because I knew how few the true scholars are. And I knew how limited we are to getting that knowledge. Muslims can harness allegiance and disassociation, and produce positive Islamic content, which in turn can lead to tangible engagement. And we do have people doing that now. You have my website. You have like what Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid is doing. He does his AIM programs where he's broadcasting and streaming all over the world, his conferences. Sheikh Atlee streaming all his lectures, Dr. Dramali streaming his khutbahs, his lectures, his classes. Dr. Ali streaming his classes at the school he teaches at. So we can create positive Islamic content, which in turn can combat the liars, can combat the destroyers, can combat the people who cause us to doubt and question our way of life, and also to even question our purpose in life. So I really like how Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd starts this chapter off. We have to be careful with this internet, guys. There's a lot of good here, a whole lot of good here, but there's a lot of evil too. And there's more evil on it than there is good. But you have to learn to disassociate. You have to learn to back away from that which is not based on the true teachings of Islam. But you're not even going to know to do that unless you learn the true teachings of Islam. Stop watching these brothers sitting up in the streets arguing. They can't even tell you what the difference in our belief is as opposed to them other people. They give the wrong answers. They create all kind of fitna. They're the reasons why people draw pictures of what they think the Prophet Muhammad looked like in a bad way. Those brothers are the reasons why the non-believers attack us back, because they attack them and their belief. All right, I'm going to stop right here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Are there any questions or comments? And by the way, guys, I want to remind everybody, tomorrow at 6 p.m., Dr. McBride will be joining, and we will be speaking about how the lines have become blurred because of the internet, because of social media. We have a big problem. We have Muslims who are living the principle. Astaghfirullah. Muslims who have blurred the lines of Mormonism with Islam. He's going to be here to address that tomorrow. We're going to speak about how the lines have become blurred. And I'm going to tell you how they blurred the lines. By putting the women in the same house. By also appointing the first wife to be the head of all the wives. By holding family meetings where the women sit together and decide on the children. Where they hold family meetings where the women decide on the finances. That's not part of Islam. That's not how we do things in Islam. So we're going to be addressing all of that. How the lines have become blurred, which is also another reason why Allah has sent this war. And this war is not going away. All right. Okay. Oh yes, Dr. Sheikh Saud. Sheikh Saud's Quran interpretation class will be tomorrow too, after Dr. McBride's class. Yeah, we have let me show you guys. We got that too. Tomorrow we have both of those classes. Let me show that too. We have this tomorrow. Have the lines become blurred? Is it okay to mix the principles of Islam with those of the Mormons? Join Sunnah Followers May 23rd at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as Dr. Daniel McBride addresses Muslims living the principle. Hold close to him and follow what he said.
Assalamu alaikum. Sunnah Followers presents a new and exciting course to add to your Islamic learning and development. Interpretation in Living with the Quran, taught by Sheikh Saad Hassanin, considered to be one of the most accomplished scholars of Quranic science in the United States. He is a member of AMJA, the Assembly of Muslim Jurists of America. He holds a PhD in Islamic Studies, professor at IUM. His specialty is in 10 different styles of Quranic recitation and jurisprudence. Classes will be held every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, streaming right here on Sunnah Followers.
Yeah, okay. So those are the two classes that will be here tomorrow. We'll have Dr. McBride, and that should be pretty interesting. You guys see how the lines have become blurred with these Muslims mixing Islam with Mormonism. And then after his class, we'll have Sheikh Saad's class on the Quran. And I want you guys to understand, all these classes that we're teaching here, I'm really hoping that you guys put all this stuff into use, into practice, because we're giving you the true understanding of Islam. This is not watered down, okay? And all of this is based on the understanding that the companions had, not what these retarded Muslims today have. And I'm calling them retarded, because that's absolutely retarded to think you can live the principle as a Muslim. That's just retarded. Okay? All right, guys, I'm going to close out for now. Don't forget my class at 9, The Signs of the Last Hour. That will be tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, I'll be continuing my series on the signs of the last hour. Make sure you guys are here in the next hour and a half for the signs of the last hour. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta